My name is Jeremy Thomas, and I'm the Business Development Manager for GGP Systems. Thank you for taking the time out to join us. Today, I'm going to be talking about how GGP Systems can help you meet your Inspire obligations with our simple three-tier approach. Established in 1992, GGP was one of the pioneers in the GIS industry and has continued to work closely with local government to develop effective IT solutions which now underpin a new generation of integrated and web-enabled services. GGP focuses exclusively on the UK public sector. Based in South London and British-owned, we believe that our unrivaled commitment to delivering highly effective solutions to the UK public sector is one of our greatest assets. With direct experience rolling out systems across over 100 government sites, GGP is the ideal partner for any public sector organisation looking to revolutionise its services. Here you can see a list of some of our local authority client base. We've installed GIS and gazetteer systems the full length of the UK. But what of Inspire? At this stage, many of you will already be aware of what Inspire is, its ultimate aim, and what is required of data owners to meet the legislative demands set by the EU. This presentation will instead focus on the specific products that GGP can offer to help you meet that obligation, whatever your chosen approach may be. In talks with our client base, we've discovered that some of you are joining forces with county councils or other third parties to satisfy the Inspire requirements, whereas some of you are taking charge of the work and ownership of the datasets and workflow involved yourselves. GGP are offering a range of training, consultancy and software solutions that will fit with your approach, regardless of the scale of your authority's involvement in the process. Briefly, here's a quick overview of the initiative. Inspire is a two-step process. Step 1 is to first publish data as is through standards-compliant web services with standards-compliant metadata. In the UK, data and services will be registered with data.gov.uk. The second step is to transform the data to comply with standardised data specifications. This transformation must be done for new or extensively restructured Annex 3 datasets by 2015 and for all datasets by 2020. It breaks down like this. Discovery. Data.gov.uk provides a catalogue of location data and services. Data providers register datasets and services to make them discoverable on data.gov.uk. It should allow text and map search interfaces, including preview. It should allow machine search through API and CSW. And it must follow the UK Gemini 2.1 metadata standard. View. This is a web service that returns a georeferenced image of a defined extent. It's not a GIS or an interactive map tool, and it should adhere to OGC Web Map Service standards. Download. This is how users will consume the data provided. It's a web service that returns the geographic data for a defined extent. Again, it's not a GIS or an interactive map tool, and it should adhere to OGC Web Feature Service standards. Alternatively, you could employ an Atom solution where WFS is not practical. Finally, transform. This is ensuring that the data supplied complies with the Inspire specifications. This is the correct projection, format, and most importantly, data schema for each dataset. The idea is to allow easy integration of data from many sources across Europe. Transformations must be applied at point of publication. There is currently no UK transformation service. So, what solution do you need? GGP are offering 3 tiers of solution. We're calling them Bronze, Silver and Gold. Bronze is ideal if you just need training for your relevant staff so that the Inspire initiative and your authority's obligations can be fully understood. It covers all the themes mentioned previously and can be tailored to your specific Annex 3 datasets. Silver is the same as Bronze, but also includes GGP personnel helping you identify and prepare your first 15 discrete datasets for upload. This solution is ideal if you have your own means or have access to your own means for publishing the data. And finally, if you have no means to publish the datasets yourself, our Gold package is the suggested approach. It includes all the services from Bronze and Silver, but GGP personnel will install, configure and provide training on an open source web publishing solution. Here's the Bronze package. It's our Inspire training package. It provides an overview of Inspire. It shows you how to prepare the metadata for your layers using GGP's own ATF editor package, which can produce metadata that is fully compliant with Inspire. It will train your staff on making the metadata itself compliant with the directive and making it available for data.gov. It will also provide good advice on maintaining metadata within your organisation. It will show you how to prepare the data layers themselves, ready for final upload to data.gov. In the Silver package, we go a step further by actually assisting you in the data reformat from whatever platform you're currently using. We will fix geometry errors in your data and actually prepare up to 15 Annex 3 datasets for publishing through your or your Inspire partner's web publishing portal. Finally, if you have no access to a web publishing platform, our Gold package is most appropriate. It includes everything from the Bronze and Silver packages, but also includes the installation and configuration on your site of a GeoNetwork/GeoServer-based web publishing solution. It includes all the configuration and training so you can administrate the web platform yourself going forward, and most importantly, gives you full control over the publishing of your GIS datasets across Europe. As an optional extra, we can offer an annual health check which will keep you appraised of any changes in the legislation. We all know how often that seems to be happening. We will review your metadata based on any changes to your GIS data layers and also review your data maintenance processes. This will be based on legislative changes and also any changes in the nature of the data you want to publish. For Gold package clients, we can also make administrating the web platform easier by providing an update and maintenance service. This can be done via remote in. There are a lot of Inspire solutions on offer at the moment that charge on a per layer basis and offer to host your data off-site. Following extensive consultation with our client base, GGP have opted to avoid that approach for a number of reasons. Maintaining control of your own data should be paramount to your organisation. Relying on a third party to ensure your public-facing data is accurate and current could present liability issues in the future. Other Inspire solutions may present limits on how often you, the data supplier, can present data for upload. If you have time-sensitive layers out there, you may find users of your data making decisions based upon data that is out of date. An example may be tree preservation orders. If you can only resubmit changes to your TPO layer once every 3 months, there will be a 3-month window with your incorrect data is out there in the public domain. With our Gold package, you are in charge of the currency of your data layers, not a third party. What is more, you know the costs going forward. Whatever changes may occur in the Inspire arena, your investment in the Gold solution covers your obligation, however many new datasets may be required, and within whatever timescales may be applied. Many other solutions out there require further solutions, such as FME Workspace, to be in place in order to satisfy the transformation element of Inspire. The GGB package provides you with the tools to meet all the Inspire data projection, data formatting, and data schema requirements. Finally, our Gold solution provides an open source web platform with a third party on hand to provide support and maintenance. Often IT departments are wary of open source solutions being installed on site, but this is mainly due to the lack of accountability inherent in open source. GGP offer that accountability for this package. So here's a demonstration of the GeoNetwork web platform. As you can see, we haven't changed the logo or the livery or the presentation of this website. But it could be altered to meet your authority's requirements for that. So we've got some example data in here. We've used some data from Plymouth. And if we look at Plymouth flood risk zones, we can see an overview of the contact metadata down here, the geographic extent of the Plymouth flood risk data. And by clicking here, we can see that data represented. All the usual map tools are represented, so we have panning and zoom, and the data is of course interrogatable, so we can see some information there about that zone. If we go back to the catalogue, we can see the data presented in a list format. But we've got a red flag against the Plymouth flood risk zones 2 and 3. And if we hover over that, we can see that it's a flag to do with the metadata not meeting the metadata rules. It's flagged here like this. If we go to the data catalogue, we can see where that metadata is incorrect. And as you can see here, highlighted in red is the fact that the distribution information isn't complete, and that's why it's been flagged. So you can see how straightforward it is to see all the fields that are required and where the compliancy has failed. If we look at GeoServer, the WFS serving element, and go to the flood risk zones again, you can see there's common formats like OpenLayers, KML and GML are available, but also less common formats. You've got your WMS picture formats, as well as shapefile, GML, CSV for WFS. If we just choose KML for the time being and open it directly in Google Earth, we can see all the data there. And again, it's interrogatable. We can download a shapefile. Let's do it from the catalogue. If we choose download files though, and choose to download the shapefile, you can see that there is a copyright notice that comes up. Now this can be configurable to whatever text is required in order to meet your requirements for users of that data agreeing to terms and conditions for the use of that data. Very important if you're looking at OS-derived data, for example. So you've got buttons to press so that those terms and conditions are accepted. And again, this text is completely configurable. So let's have a look at the metadata editor that's available with our package. Clicking on Setup from GGP opens the ATF editor XE. We'll choose some layers that are in the corporate table. We'll just choose one layer that's in the corporate table. It's a tree overlay that we created before. Now this doesn't have to be looking at just GGP native layers. It could be looking at something that's in ArcSDE or some other package. Clicking on the metadata tab, we can see metadata that we've created before for this tree layer. And click on the various parameters on the right. The subheadings. Clicking on validate shows us and sends the parameter red where the metadata is non-compliant. You can see the lineage field here is missing some data, so we'll fill it in with planning department, and then we'll validate it again, and we can see validation has succeeded and it's gone black again. So it highlights non-compliance with Inspire or Gemini 2 format metadata very quickly. As you can see, we'll go through some of the other fields here. They've all been filled in. If one of these were missing, we would see them highlighted in red. You can also harvest data from the harvest metadata from the data itself by loading it from the overlay. For example, the bounding box. It's grabbed the coordinates of the bounding box there, and we can go through some of the other fields here. We can save the metadata, and we can also export it. That's it saved, and then clicking on export, we can export it as an XML file ready for upload to data.gov. Let's just have a quick look at that metadata in the XML format. We'll open it in Notepad. There it is. So why use GGP for your Inspire obligations? It's a UK product. With more than 20 years experience in the industry, the solution uses open source software, so there's no ongoing costs. You have control of your own data, and it allows you to keep it up to date and relevant. There's no hosted contract with a third party. With GGP 2014 and the ATF editor, compliant metadata is easy to create and maintain. Training and support is provided by GGP's own developers and experienced GIS professionals. In summary, our bronze, silver and gold packages: bronze training, silver training and consultancy, gold training, consultancy and an installed web server so you can meet your own web publishing needs. All of them easily attainable within the DEFRA funding limits. Thank you for listening. You can contact us on sales@ggpsystems.co.uk or on 0208 686 9887.